Have you ever felt as though your emotions were spiraling out of control, leaving you merely tagging along for the ride? Imagine you're in a meeting, trying to drive home a point when someone cuts you off, throwing you off your game. Your temper flares and you're on the verge of snapping back, but wait. What if I told you that you're in the driver's seat, not your emotions? The renowned Stoic philosopher Epictetus once remarked, "It's not the events themselves that disturb people, but only their judgments about them." Today, we're going to explore how to navigate your life in the direction you desire, regardless of the emotional tempests you encounter. This isn't about bottling up your emotions or transforming into a detached automaton. Rather, it's about mastering your reactions, becoming the captain navigating through the stormy seas of emotions. Ready to take command and be the protagonist of your narrative? Let's dive in. Understanding the nature of emotions. All right, let's dissect what we're up against. Emotions aren't foes. They're akin to a rigorous gym buddy who sometimes drives you a bit too far. They have their uses, signaling danger, celebrating wins, and fostering connections. However, unchecked, they can override your rational mind quicker than you can react. Here's the crux. Your brain is wired more for survival instincts than for modern-day stresses. When emotions flare, the amygdala, your brain's alarm system, activates before your logical prefrontal cortex even has a chance. This might explain why you'd feel a sudden urge to lash out during a tense moment. Many people falter by believing they're at the mercy of these emotional surges. They succumb to anger, leading to regrettable confrontations, or let fear deter them from their aspirations. They overlook the fact that while you might not control your feelings, your actions are entirely in your hands. True fortitude lies not in the absence of emotions, but in experiencing them and choosing your actions despite them. In the next part, we'll examine how ancient Stoics, some of the most mentally robust figures in history, faced this challenge. The Stoic view on emotions. Let's turn to the Stoics. These ancient philosophers weren't just bearded sages. They were the mental warriors of their time. Consider Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor. Amidst wars and plagues, he maintained, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." If he could manage that in such dire times, we have no excuse. Stoics taught that it isn't events that destabilize us, but our perceptions of them. Like lifting weights, the load remains the same, but your mindset dictates whether you'll lift it or it'll crush you. The Stoics didn't advocate for controlling emotions, but rather focusing on our actions. For instance, Bruce Lee famously said, "You will continue to suffer if you have an emotional reaction to everything said to you." True power is sitting back and observing things with logic. If words control you, then everyone else can control you. Breathe and allow things to pass. True power is restraint. This brings us to the power of choice. The power of choice. Between the event that occurs and your response lies a brief moment. It may be fleeting, like the pause between spotting a punch and dodging it, but it is there, that moment of choice. This space grants you freedom, the freedom to choose how you react, like a boxer strategically deciding their next move. Think about it. Life throws a punch. Your boss reprimands you harshly, or a relationship falters. That's the cue. Emotions flare. That's the impulse. But right there, you have a choice. You can let these emotions control you, likely leading to outcomes you'll regret, or you can maintain your composure and decide your next step. As Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson puts it, success isn't always about greatness, it's about consistency. Consistent hard work leads to success, and greatness will come. Similarly, mastering your responses is about consistently choosing them, even when emotions are overwhelming. Remember, feeling angry doesn't necessitate throwing a punch, nor does fear compel you to flee. Theodore Roosevelt once stated, "I am the one who can control my thoughts, which will lead to my actions, and those will lead to my outcomes." So, next time you find yourself in a challenging situation, with your pulse racing and temper rising, remember your power to choose. That is true strength. That is being a champion in the ring of life. Practical techniques for decision-making and actions. Now let's get practical. We've talked the talk. Now let's walk the walk. Here are some time-tested strategies to help you choose your actions, even when emotions are vying for control. First, the pause and reflect technique. When you feel your emotions accelerating, hit the brakes, take a deep breath, and count to 10 if necessary. This is like the moment in a boxing match when you step back to assess your opponent. Give yourself a moment to think, will reacting impulsively help me win, or will it just leave me down for the count? Next, cognitive reframing. Fancy term, simple concept. It's about shifting how you view a situation. If your gym partner bails last minute, instead of letting it ruin your day, see it as an opportunity to push your limits unaccompanied. It's akin to Rocky turning a meat locker into a gym. Same scenario, altered perspective. Then there's values-based decision-making. It might sound complex, but it boils down to asking yourself, what would the person I aspire to be do in this situation? Imagine you are your hero. Would they lose their cool over a trivial setback? Unlikely. They'd keep their eyes on the prize. Lastly, emotional acceptance. This can be challenging, but it's essential. It's okay to feel your feelings. Don't waste energy trying to fight them off. Acknowledge them, and then decide how to act. It's akin to recognizing the pain during an intense workout. You feel it, you acknowledge it, but you keep pushing through. Mike Tyson summed it up perfectly. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Life is going to hit hard. These techniques are your game plan for when it does. Why choose actions over emotions? Why bother with all this, you might ask? Because the benefits are enormous, transformative even. First, your relationships will improve. You'll become the rock people depend on, not the volcano they avoid. You'll handle conflicts with insight rather than impulsive reactions. As Muhammad Ali put it, don't count the days, make the days count. Every interaction becomes a chance to positively influence. Your decision-making skills will improve too. You won't be the one making rash decisions because you're upset. You'll see opportunities that others miss, much like a chess master in a high-stakes game. You'll also build resilience akin to a bulletproof vest for your psyche. Life will keep throwing curveballs, but you'll be quicker to recover because you're not draining your energy on emotional drama. You'll be like a Navy SEAL, calm under pressure, ready for anything. And here's the ultimate reward. You'll feel more in control of your life. No longer a puppet manipulated by the strings of your emotions, but the puppet master. This sense of control is transformative. It's the difference between feeling life is happening to you and knowing you are making life happen. Arnold Schwarzenegger put it best. The mind is the limit. As long as the mind can envision that you can do something, you can do it. As long as you really believe 100%. When you master choosing your actions, you'll start believing in yourself like never before. This isn't just motivational talk. This is about becoming the strongest, most capable version of yourself. It's about being the hero in your life story, not the victim. So, are you ready to seize control and start choosing your actions like a champion? Let's face the challenges and overcome them together. Listen up, because this is where the hard work really begins. Mastering your actions isn't a leisurely stroll. It's more like a grueling uphill run with a heavy vest. You'll encounter intense emotions, anger, fear, frustration, that will hit you like a freight train. It's one thing to stay composed during a minor irritation, and quite another when you're publicly criticized or humiliated. Here's the strategy. Treat intense emotions like you would a tough workout session. Embrace the burn. Feel it, but don't let it take the wheel. As Jocko Willink says, discipline equals freedom. The more you practice controlling your actions under pressure, the more natural it becomes. You'll also need to break old habits. Your brain loves taking shortcuts, and emotional reactions are its go-to path. Changing this is like cutting out junk food. It'll be tough, you'll stumble, but every time you consciously choose your action over your instinct, you're rewiring your brain. Bruce Lee once said, "I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times." Keep practicing your chosen reactions until they become second nature. Consistency is key. Some days you'll nail it, making all the right moves. On other days you might feel like you've regressed. That's normal. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. It's about getting back on track after a slip-up. Dwayne Johnson describes success as incremental improvements. Success isn't overnight, it's when every day you get a little better than the day before. It all adds up. Now, let's see this in action with some real-life scenarios. Scenario 1. You're at the gym, setting personal records when a show-off disrupts everyone's focus. Your old self might have confronted him, risking an altercation and possibly a gym ban. But now, you take a moment. Realize his behavior doesn't impact your performance, refocus on your goals and tune him out. Result, you finish your session stronger than ever, while he's still craving attention. Scenario 2. Your partner suggests taking a break. It's like a gut punch, anger, fear, sadness all at once. In the past, you might have responded with pleas or anger. Now you pause, take a breath, and choose dignity. You agree to some time to think, keeping the door open for respectful communication, whether or not the relationship continues. Scenario 3. You're overlooked for a well-deserved promotion. You feel resentment creeping in. Before, this might have soured your performance or led you to impulsively job hunt. Now, you choose a different approach. You seek feedback, work to improve, and focus on your goals without resentment. 6 months later, not only are you promoted, but you surpass the initial position you hoped for. As Mike Tyson poignantly noted, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Life will keep throwing punches. How you respond defines you. Choose your actions, not mere reactions. Stand strong when the dust settles. The science behind it. If you're skeptical, let science convince you. Neuroscience research shows our brains are adaptable, termed neuroplasticity, meaning they can change. Each time you choose a response over a knee-jerk reaction, you're literally restructuring your brain like building mental muscle. A study found that those who practice emotional regulation, choosing their responses, enjoy better relationships and more career success. They're not just happier, they're thriving. Another study from Harvard revealed that meditation, a tool for mastering emotions, can alter your brain, enhancing areas linked to focus and decision-making. Think of it as legal brain steroids. And a University of Michigan study showed that believing in your ability to control your emotions actually increases your control, akin to a self-fulfilling prophecy. This isn't New Age speculation. It's solid science backing centuries-old Stoic wisdom. Your mind is the ultimate battlefield, and science equips us with the tools for victory. Implementing daily practices. Knowledge without application is futile. You wouldn't expect to build muscle just by thinking about the gym. The same applies here. You need to train your mental responses daily. Here's your mental gym routine. Mindfulness. Start with 5 minutes a day. Observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment, like watching clouds pass. This practice builds the crucial gap between stimulus and response. Journaling. Reflect daily. Write down instances when you chose your response over your emotions. What was the outcome? This helps reinforce positive results and strategize for the future. Visualization. Regularly envision yourself handling challenging situations with calm and effective responses. Mental rehearsal makes actual responses more intuitive. Cold showers. Begin your day with a brief cold shower. It's uncomfortable but teaches you to control your reactions under stress. A literal wake-up call. Arnold Schwarzenegger said it best. The last 3 or 4 reps is what makes the muscle grow. These practices are those last few reps for your mental strength. They're challenging but critical for mastering your responses. Now, 10 daily Stoic habits to conquer your emotions. These aren't just helpful habits, they're essential tools for self-mastery. Commit to them, and you'll transform your life. Mindfulness training. Start with 5 minutes, aim for 20. Sit, close your eyes, focus on your breath. Let thoughts come and go without engagement. This is like mental weightlifting, enhancing your calm in chaos. The emotional log. Each night, jot down 3 things. An intense emotion you felt, what triggered it, and how you responded. Be honest. This is your playback to learn and adapt. The Stoic Challenge. Once daily, do something uncomfortable. Take a cold shower, skip a meal, or push through a tough workout when fatigued. Choose discomfort. It trains you to act despite your emotions. Remember, comfort is greatness's enemy. Visualization exercises. Spend a few minutes each day imagining yourself in difficult situations, responding with poise. This mental practice translates into real-life poise. The daily catalyst. Every morning, ask yourself, what can I do today that my future self will thank me for? Then do it. No excuses. This builds the habit of prioritizing long-term benefits over immediate comfort. The micro-decision drill. Throughout your day, notice the small decisions: what to eat, whether to check your phone, how to respond to a message. Make these choices deliberately. It's like mental reps for your decision-making skills. The gratitude exercise. End each day by naming 3 things you're grateful for. Force it if necessary. This habit helps you find positives even when it's tough, training you to see the good in every situation. The feedback loop. Weekly, ask someone you trust for candid feedback on your actions. Listen without defending. This is difficult, but crucial for growth. The emotion action practice. When a strong emotion arises, pause, identify the emotion, then consciously choose your action. This breaks the automatic link between feeling and reacting. Philosophical readings. Daily, read a page from Meditations by Marcus Aurelius or the Manual by Epictetus. Their insights are mental protein, sharpening your perspective and resilience. This routine isn't optional. It's your daily training for mental fitness. Miss a day? Jump back in. Resistance means you're right where growth happens. As David Goggins suggests, comfort threatens to leave you unfulfilled. These practices are your route to realizing your potential, to becoming someone who doesn't just react but consciously acts. Ready to start? This is more than improvement. It's a revolution in managing our emotions, making decisions, and leading our lives. It begins with you today. History is made by those who dare to lead, not follow. Are you prepared to step up, to steer your path against the current, to master your actions? Your next step, your challenge, starts in the comments. Share a moment when you chose your action over your emotion. What was the scenario? What was the outcome? Or take on a week-long challenge using one of these techniques. Tell us how it shifted your approach. Your experiences could inspire others, sparking a chain reaction of growth. Remember, this isn't just about you. It's about building a community of modern-day Stoics, equipped to face life's challenges with strength and wisdom. For those doubting their ability, remember Muhammad Ali's words: "Impossible is nothing more than a word tossed around by the timid." You possess the power to change, to control, to transcend. It's been within you all along, waiting for activation. This journey is about discovery, about pushing boundaries, about mastering not just your emotions, but your life's direction. So, are you ready to embrace this challenge? Are you ready to become the architect of your actions? The comment section is your arena. Show us your resolve and share your triumphs, no matter how modest they may seem. In this arena, every conscious choice counts, and every step forward matters. Let's forge ahead. Together, champions in the arena of life. It's your move.